Richie Darling Drawing Show. Richie Darling Drawing Show. Richie Darling Drawing Show. Richie Darling Drawing Show. Richie Darling Drawing Show.
Welcome to the Richie Darling Drawing Show. Today we have a special guest. First of all, I'm Richie Darling. That's Tommy Wishhouse. We're both producers on the show. And we've got Mr. Kyle Barber with us today. Now, we did a portrait drawing session for Kyle a few weeks ago, and we'll show that portrait. I got to give it to my friend Kyle here. How long have we known each other?
Probably coming on a decade.
Yeah, I'd say. Yep, and I worked with Kyle previously in the clean energy sector doing rooftop and ground mount solar installations for your first company, or one of your first companies, EFS Solar.
Yep,
right?
EFS Energy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Earth's First Solar.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. And that was a fun time. Technology's driven it much further now.
Yeah, indeed. And I really like to draw people that I know. I like to draw my friends and family, and so it just makes sense. I already had good permission from Kyle to use his likeness anytime, and we had a really great trip to Chicago. Was where that photo came from. If you remember when we went to Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we went to a solar energy conference or something like that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good time. Walked around downtown, got a lot of really good photos. And I was just back in Chicago this past weekend, and I was walking down there, remembering all the places that we went, and was like, man, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Tommy, how long have we been doing the show now?
Oh gosh, it's got to be coming up on what, 4 or 5 months?
Yeah, I think so. We get together every week and doing drawings and talking about the format of the show and kind of the things that we're wanting to do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what we call interstitial footage, right? So it's talking to the people that we're doing the drawings of and kind of getting to know them a little bit and a little bit about what they do around town and stuff. So what other kind of stuff are you involved in?
A lot of my stuff stems in renewable energy. I teach it as well at a collegiate level for Lewis and Clark Community College, on the state level under the Clean Energy Jobs Act of Illinois, and soon to be class at St. Louis Community College starting in February. So
Cool.
New program running there. And what people don't understand mostly is, in a lot of what I'm doing in the renewable energy sector is fighting for the rights of people to produce their own electricity and own that generation. So there's an aspect of that's a lot of time overlooked in the industry, that we are fighting for individual energy freedom rights.
Yeah, cool. That's the good fight, right?
Yeah, it's the good fight.
Indeed.
So, aside from that, hobbies are disc golf. I like to.
Hey, me and Tommy play disc golf too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually using some disc golf footage for our opening crawl now, so
Oh,
it's
awesome.
pretty fun. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and I love getting into the raw parts of Missouri and kayaking when I can. And rock climbing is a good hobby that I like to use to do from time to time, and I like to see a lot of music.
How about Star Wars collectibles? Tell me a little bit about how you got started with Star Wars collectibles and how big and vast is your collection?
Kind of on accident. I was always intrigued by it. I guess it really actually started when my mom brought me this 1984 Star Wars poster that I had from when I was a kid. It was not in very good shape, but it just really, I remembered getting that poster and being so excited as a kid. And the Star Wars collections as a whole are good humored. It's kind of in every age bracket is typically okay. So it's just fun stuff that my kids can enjoy as well, which is spawned off in a million different ways now.
Yeah, so how many pieces do you think you have in your collection? Would you say over 300 pieces?
I would say close to 300 pieces, yes.
Okay. That's pretty good size.
Different rarities. A lot of it's aged, and I'll just pick up pieces whenever I can find when things drift to the bottom, I'll be there to sift them.
Right on. Well, do you consider yourself an artist, and do you regularly do drawings on your own?
No.
Okay.
And no.
So basically true beginner adult who's not an enthusiast, right?
Right. I've done a couple of wine and paint, and I think I did a puff and paint, but drawing, I am an avid doodler if I'm in a classroom.
Yeah, cool.
But that's about the extent of my drawing.
Right on. And I started drawing when I was in my 30s, and I got a book from the library and followed the instructions of the book, and then all of a sudden I could draw because I really wanted to learn that skill as an adult. Now, Tommy, you are also, do you consider yourself an artist, and how long have you been drawing?
I do consider myself an artist. As far as drawing goes, I would say it pretty much started. I found a book of how to draw animals when I was working at a grocery store down in Texas, and I would sit there at the cash register when there's no people, and I would just practice that. I've always wanted to learn how to draw, but it was just something I never really found the time to be able to do. So it's cool to have. I've always learned better from an in-person kind of a mentorship than out of a book. So it was cool to kind of find somebody who has that skill and to be able to find someone to learn from.
Yeah, right on. And we've been doing some drawings together now for a few months since we've been doing the show.
Yeah.
So we have this vintage Star Wars book here that Kyle picked up as part of his vast collection. How to draw Star Wars heroes, creatures, spaceships, and other fantastic things. And I have flipped to the page where it shows how to draw the Death Star, and that's what we're going to draw today. An artist, a complete amateur, and a seasoned artist. So this one is going to be fun. So let's check it out. I'm going to bring the camera over here and we'll do a little top-down view.
And in the world of solar, this makes me think of the solar death ray, they call it, where you take the Fresnel lens off of the front of a big screen TV, and if you direct it like you direct a magnifying glass, you can reach 2,000 degrees on a sunny day.
Oh, wow.
So you can melt metal, start fires very easily, and an artist actually uses it out in the desert. He'll take it out there and burn it in the sand and then pull out clay figurines that he made.
Oh, wow.
Because it'll get that hot in the Sahara Desert.
All right, so let's write our names at the top. So for everybody, I'm going to give you a 6B and a 2B each, and the 2B is slightly lighter and the 6B is darker.
I may fail out already.
6B, 2B, 6B, 2B, 6B, 2B, and we'll get some of these erasers going. That way we can erase if we need to. gonna write your name real big on the top of the paper all the way across like that. Kyle. Same for you, Tommy. Eraser. 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 Yeah, and then flip that around so the camera can see it. Like that.
Okay.
All right.
You do it at the end after he draws.
Oh, okay. No, I want him to try it on mine.
So for step number 1 is
Come on, trade me. Let me look good for my gift.
is drawing the circle. So just place a nice big circle. I'm going to use my 6B because I want it to be good and dark, because this line is really the edge of our spaceship here. All right.
Richie Darling Drawing Show. Richie Darling Drawing Show. Richie Darling Drawing Show.
We're doing the cross right above the secondary indention here. What do they call that part? That's the like the laser beam that kills the whole planet.
Yes. That'd be the death ray.
The death ray. Okay, so also we have this sort of bisecting meridian here, right? And notice that this one, it's blank here in the middle, so drawing a line there and there, that's the same length. And it's going to be right next to that the smaller circle like this. So we'll put a line.
Richie Darling Drawing Show. Richie Darling Drawing Show.
A left and right motion like this, not really super all that difficult, and it only has to have this rough shape. It doesn't have to have all those little perfect lines. Just remember that you're staying close to the outside. You got a little big part here, and the rest of it just, it's almost like a scribble. Just like that. So there's one at the end here. That's another level. Basically just shows it a little extra shaded, right?
Oh, wow. And a whole other spaceship.
Well, we don't have to do that part.
Whoa.
So you see what's going on here. Now you have a kind of a clearer idea of what this is, right? But we can use the same one that we already started with to do that. Okay. Now one of the things is this is like all this mid shading here. I think what we should do first is let's go all the way around it with some black shading like this. So we'll get our 6B pencil, right, and basically we just want to go to the edge and want to go all the way to burnish. So we're just gonna go all the way down really, really thick, and we're just gonna go around the circle, and we're gonna come out about 1 inch. Just to give us a little background. You're going to push down good and hard and fill it in really nice. Be really careful on the edge because you don't want to get into your drawing too much. Right?
Because it's really cold out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what's the pain factor on something like that? How long are you going to be in pain? There's no air to breathe. Only a few minutes probably. Alright, so now we're going to start filling in these voids here based on my pencil sketch from earlier. The wine thing, we're saying a sipping paint, something like that.
That's it.
Paint sip. Never been to one of those.
Yeah, usually there's some type of instructor there teaching.
Kind of doing like this, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then everyone gets their own canvas and a bottle of wine or something.
I did one with my mom, and she's really a good artist. She used more oil paints. You know, there's so many professions out there.
They do stand-up in Peoria?
Yep.
You know, that's where Richard Pryor was from. And he was like the #1 best stand-up of all time for a long time. Maybe still.
It's true.
Let's get some video of it here. Dun, 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 dun.